Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. Today is Tuesday and it's our 52 weeks for a organized home. I want to say balanced home, organized home, and balanced life. What we're doing is we're going through our entire home. We are already over the 6-month mark. We're into the 7th month mark, which is awesome. And we're going through different areas of our home, decluttering. Anybody else decluttering? And not where you have to do it in a month. You can do don't they have like the Swedish death clean through and like doing it real quick and all these things, and sometimes that can get overwhelming, or you just do it all at once and you keep accumulating. So we're doing it slowly. We're doing it through the whole year. We've gone through different areas of our home and we're going through week by week, not making it overwhelming where we're taking a little bit at a time. I'm saying today I'll show you something today and then you take all this week to get it done until next week, and maybe it'll go real quick for you. For myself, this area is not even big for me, so I have nothing to do but talk about it. So that's the beauty of it. Like sometimes you might have a big need. Like my kitchen, it was a lot of work. If I wasn't filming and doing a video, it would take me more than a day to do it. I would just do it slowly over the whole week, getting it done. So why are you doing this video? Because I do videos every single day. I do videos every day about my life and what I do, making food, cleaning, all those things. And so now this period in my life, my kids are all older. Yes, I have to clean, yes, I have to cook each day, but sometimes I can cook ahead and I got like an extra day where I'm like, I don't have to cook anything, or I don't have to clean anything. And so I wrote this book of going, okay, how can I encourage someone to kind of stretch out and declutter their home for the whole year so it's not overwhelming? And then, you know what, let's add some healthy routines in there. What are some things we can do to help that routines and habits in our life? And then also, what are some things to do to strengthen like your emotional wellness? What are some things you can do to kind of change this up here and make it better? So that's where this series came into be. Not a popular one, but that is okay. It's one for those that want to be intentional and that want to change things in their day. So that's if you're here for that, awesome. And if not, that's okay. Guess what? Today, you got 2 videos today. I know, there's another video coming this afternoon on something completely different, shopping. Yay! But for this one, we're going to go through and do some cleaning. So this month, we're going to be focusing on your entryway and your mudroom. Now for myself, I have an entryway. I don't have a mudroom. I don't really have any other thing but right here. Even in our mountain house, I didn't really have an entryway. It was more right into our kitchen area. But here in Florida, it's a little bit different because I don't have all the stuff that I would need if we lived in a different climate. So this I'll just be talking about. So for this week, we're going to be decluttering shoes, bags, and coats. I don't have any of those because mine are the same year round. I don't even own a coat. Do I own a coat? No, I don't even own a coat, so I don't have a coat. My shoes are the same shoes all the time. Bags, I only use a few bags that I use on a regular basis. So for you're gonna do that. Now, when we lived in the mountains, we had warm gear and we had cold gear because we needed it for different climates. In Michigan, we would pack away all our winter stuff and we'd keep, and we'd have our warmer things out. We had our spring things out, like the rubber boots for the wet season, and then we'd have our summer shoes for summer, and then we'd have winter boots and gloves and hats and all that for the winter season. Then we'd have a winter coat, we'd have a windbreaker coat, and we'd have a raincoat. So there was a whole lot to go through and clean. So I don't know what that looks like in your home. For me, we just don't have that. My kids all have, not all of them, some of them have winter coats, the ones that maybe travel and go more, but for the most part, we just get like a hoodie. The boys have a hoodie, the girls have a sweatshirt. That's about the extent of coats here. I don't even have one. I have a sweater that I saved from the mountains that if we go look at Christmas lights and walk around in the cold, I'll wear that. Greg's got one winter jacket. He didn't wear that this year. It was a little chilly. But for that, going through, you're just going to go through your stuff today. So you're going to look in maybe you have a closet. Usually people have a closet at their entryway. Go through, clean it out. If you got gloves, good time to go through and get gloves. Go through it. Hats, scarves, all those things. This time, I know for myself, we lived in Michigan and kind of get them all the time. In the mountains, there was only certain times a year that they had the abundance of gloves and hats. So when I would see them, I'd be like, oh, get them. And so what I learned over the years is having similar color gloves. Like we did a lot of like going out in the snow with kids, and so gloves get expensive. Those, especially the nice ones, they get very expensive. So sometimes the kids we were able to get, like everybody get a nice pair of gloves. One year, I think in the mountains, I found the black, I'm gonna say they're WeatherTech, I don't know what kind they were, but they're really nice gloves that came down, and I found them on clearance after winter, and I was like, oh, so I bought a bunch of them. So everybody had one pair of those. So, because it only snows once in a while in the mountains, but if it does, it's fun. So when I saw that, I grabbed them. They had sleds. I would grab those. They were $1 because I knew that if we had snow and ice, we would only sled with them one time and then they'd bust, because that's how it worked. And so I think the last batch, we bought 10 of them, 15 of them. I think we had 15 of them. And then it never snowed for 2 years. And I ended up giving them to a friend. So I'm like, you guys enjoy the sleds. that's okay, because we just didn't have snow or ice that year. But I would go through and get black gloves, and so then I'd get the stretchy knit ones. And for the kids, I try to get all blacks, because when they come in from the snow, they lose them, or throughout the year they get lost. And so then that way, instead of matching up multiple colors, it was a lot easier to just do black for everybody. Now Grandma would be really good. She'd send gloves all the time. So then we had different colored ones, but I try to keep them together that way. For little ones, I always got mittens. They were so nice to have mittens on their hands, or socks work good for little kids as well. So mittens were awesome. So sometimes we would have multiple pairs of mittens for little ones, especially when you have little kids. It's so hard putting those fingers in those gloves, so hard. So mittens work amazing. I would do mittens for all my kids. It was just easier. So those worked really well. And then for boots, we would have rubber boots through the rainy season, so I would get those ones. Now they have nice colors, but when we had so many kids, I would focus on just the black ones from Walmart, because we pretty much had every size of them. And so, because they were just nice and lasted, they were thicker. So like we'd have pretty much all the same. We'd just throw them in a big giant bin, and every year it's like, okay, do we need to buy another pair? Do we need another pair? Or can we kind of pass them down, the different ones from different kids? And that worked well for going through those when you have a larger family. And so, and then shoes, obviously shoes just last for, it depends on how shoes last for your kids. So you have to decide on that. Winter boots was the same way. For in the mountains, we didn't buy regular boots, because I knew we'd probably not very much use them. If it did snow, you're like, oh, I wish I had boots, but we would just use those rubber boots. They were always cheaper, and then they just put in plastic bags on their feet and thick socks. That's what we used outside for when they were younger, when we lived in the mountains and that. But here we don't have either. We don't have rubber boots. They don't have any of that stuff. So no need to clean any of that. So that's what you are going to do today, is you're going to go through all your seasonal stuff and kind of do something with it. Make a list. Get yourself a little notepad while you're cleaning it out, and make note of what you have for winter coats. Do you have enough for everybody this year? Because then you kind of look ahead when coats go on sale, or you see it at a thrift store, you see somebody giving one away. Then you can note if you need that. Same thing with gloves. Make a list of what you need for winter. Even though it's hot summer, think of what you need for the winter time. And so it's always good to have that ongoing list, just to kind of know where you stand. Even at the end of the season, I would always kind of go through, before packing all the gear away, I'd make a little note, like with a sticky note or something, maybe on the outside of the bin or whatever I had, and just put, or make a little index card and stick it in your planner on the month that it would get cooler in your area. So then you know, okay, I need this, 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 and this. So that way you're prepared. It's like the Bible talks about the Proverbs 31 woman, and she looks well to the ways of her household. Her winter doesn't go, her house doesn't get cold. Her lamp's not going, all those things, because she's preparing ahead. So this is your time to prepare ahead. You may not be able to go out and buy everything right now, but have a plan so you know what you have to get for your future, for your family. Sound good? All right, so that's this whole area. Mudroom entryway, we're going to go through and declutter your bags, your shoes, your coats, gears, all those good things. Remember, we're just decluttering. We're going to organize next week. So just decluttering. We're going through and decluttering out, because you probably have a lot that you don't need. If you've never worn that coat, pass it along. If you don't wear those gloves, pass them along. Just keep what you need. I have one pair of gloves. I brought them to Florida. I still have the same exact pair. They're in my closet. I know where they're at. All these good things. So, okay, decluttering today. Decluttering out the things that you don't need. All right, let's go on to the next one. For our healthy routines this month, we're going to focus on deepening connections. Now, for some of you, this might not be possible. I understand. It's very hard sometimes when you have certain situations in life. Maybe you physically can't get out and see people due to disabilities. Maybe you can't, maybe you don't have people around you. Maybe family is alienated from you. Maybe you can't get out and go to church, or maybe, I don't know what your situation is, but sometimes it's very easy to get alienated in our world. And then especially with the internet, especially with a phone, there's really no reason to go out anywhere, is there? I understand. So this month we're going to talk about strengthening social bonds. One of those things where you think, oh, I don't really need to talk to anybody. No, I don't need to do that. But the importance of having human interaction with other humans your age, or even a little bit older than you, is so important for your mental well-being and your emotional health. You'd be surprised. I know for myself, we have moved multiple times in our home, and there was many seasons where I was very isolated, even though I had all my kids around me all day long. Kids don't go away. They're everywhere. But as a mom, and not having the connection with people around you, it can be a very depressing thing. That's why I started my YouTube channel, because I realized that it's not feasible for you to be out all the time. And I get that. It's not healthy. It's not good, because you got to take care of things of your household. I understand those things. And so just getting out and talking with somebody and just being with somebody, and not even if it's not your best friend, but just being able to strengthen some and having communication with an adult, having some kind of form of something. And so just doing that. But I know different times in my life, I have had like lots of kids. There was not a whole lot to get out and make any kind of formal connections. And I remember having all my little ones at home, and my girlfriend would be really good to like invite me to all the homeschool things, but it was so busy and crazy. It was too much to even bring everybody out. So the few times I did go, I was like, okay, and it was a lot of stress, but I do remember being out with those other mamas and then like talking with them and going, oh, you're struggling with this too. Oh, wow. This was before internet, mind you. It is overwhelming with all your kids. I see that. Or listening, even little things like when I would go, when we lived in the mountains, we had a nice little group that we would go to the park and meet up every couple weeks at the park and just talking with, and they're all in different phases. They're all in different stages of life. But I would always ask, what are you making for supper tonight? What's on your supper menu? And that was just something, and I got home everybody's ideas. And for me, I took that home and I was like, all right, these are all good ideas that I can take and make for myself for meals. It's just something different than just like, what am I going to do? And that was just one way. But getting out and being with others is very beneficial. It's not good to stay isolated. It's not good to be all alone. It's not good to be inside by your lonesome. And I understand sometimes you're not physically able to do those things. I get that. Thank goodness for the internet. I'm thankful to be able to be here and to encourage you. But if you can, even if you're getting out, even if you're going to the grocery store and talking to the cashier at the grocery store, I know that might not seem like a far stretch, but that might be it. Sometimes it's hard to find friends. Sometimes it's hard to get those things. But if you're able to do that, strengthen those bonds. Invite your friend for coffee. Go have coffee. Or maybe, I know for myself, I'll walk around my neighborhood and there's a lady, she's much older than I am. She's 30 years older. Yeah, she's 25 years older than I am. But she's a walking woman. And so we won't have in-depth conversations, but when we walk around, we'll stop for a minute and we'll chit-chat about things and just encourage things and find out what she's listening to, her sermons and different things going on in her life. And so just that little sprig of like conversation and confidence and pouring into somebody, it just brings a little bit of life to yourself. So getting out and chatting with somebody. I know sometimes it's hard but it's good to strengthen those bonds, even if it's family member. Maybe get a family member, invite them over for coffee, or just invite them over for just like want to come over for the afternoon for a few hours just to visit. Those are good things to do. And let's say you can't get out. Well, then pick up that phone, make a phone call. Sometimes just being on the phone and talking and encourage somebody. I know people that live further away from me that I'm not going to be able to see on a regular basis, it's good to pick up the phone and just call. Just say, hey, how you doing? Just want to call and check on you and see how you're doing and just being able to talk. It's just, those are important. God has made us a social person. Otherwise, we'd be all in our own little world. But He's made us to encourage others. He's made us to need other people, to be around other people. So it all helps with longevity, with emotional wellness. If you don't have another person to talk with, it's like sometimes you're alone with your own thoughts all the time. Sometimes those thoughts can get all real in your head, and especially if you're dealing with something negative, those negative things will spiral. So having a good friend or someone you can kind of talk to, not to spew your life to, but just to talk to and have regular conversations, it encourages you and in your days of your life. And sometimes it gets you out of that headspace. It gets you onto a track of better focus. So that is going to be my challenge to you this week for your emotional healthy routines, is to call a friend, set up a date for a lunch, or just have coffee, or ice water or sweet tea or lemonade or something outside just to visit. Go to the park. Mamas, go to the park with your little ones. There's always mamas at the park. Always a mama. You will look around and find a mama sitting by herself. I guarantee it. Go sit, encourage, or just stand and encourage, and start small chit chat till you strike up a conversation. It'll do something for you today, and you'll be able to leave and go, that was nice talking with that person. So get out there. So strengthen those social bonds. For our emotional wellness this month, we're focusing on building faith habits. And one of those, I'm in my closet here, is establishing a prayer routine. And the reason why I'm in my closet is because this would be where my prayer time is. Now, I do pray out in my bedroom. I will pray when I'm in my kitchen. I'll pray when I'm in my car. I'll pray when I'm in my office. But there's something about going into your closet and having, you talk about having a prayer closet. The Bible talks about that, right? Like Jesus talks about, don't pray out loud with everybody. You can do those for certain times, but He says to go into your room, go into your closet, go into your space. This is my closet. It's open. It's not anything special. It's not anything like my own. I know people have, I love, like people that I know, they have like their own little prayer area, and they'll like focus on writing stuff on the wall, and they'll have like a whole zone in here. And I'm like, That's beautiful. That's a great little place to go in and be at. For me, the door is wide open in here. There is no door. It's an open doorway. So when I do my prayer time by myself, I shut the door, I turn the light off, and I come into my closet here. And this is where I'm at. And I'm usually kneeling right here, over here on my chair. And this is where I'm at. I'm right here by my clothes, by my secret snacks. This is where I'm at. But this to me is where I feel like I can get into a quiet place with the Lord without anybody there. Sometimes when I'm like out in my bedroom, and not that God isn't anywhere, I just feel like, what if someone opens the door? Someone looking at me? Somebody looking in the window? All those things. But when you come into like a presence of a closet where there's nobody around, just you and God, I don't know. And it's not about the place. And I know this, but for those of you that pray in a prayer closet, maybe you can confirm. I feel like there's just something special about that. I know in our old house, I had one. I could shut the door. I could go in there and I could shut myself in there and have quiet. I didn't have to worry about anybody coming in. I could have my time with the Lord in there. Now here, it's a little more open, but I have a door I can shut. I shut the lights off and I come in here and I just sit with the Lord. So it's about establishing the prayer routine and having that relationship. The Bible talks about pray without ceasing. So it's consistently, because how many times, like, I'm guilty of it. I am guilty of it. And I'll admit that right here, like not having that consistent prayer time. Like it sounds great to say, yeah, I get up every single day and pray. But no, there's days that I don't specifically come in here and pray. And I know those are the days that life gets a little bit busy sometimes and get a little bit away from me. And maybe I have a little bit more negative thoughts and when I have a little bit of this. But I have found, and it's over and over, like you read the Bible and you're reading about the Israelites and they've wandered in the desert for 40 years because they just don't get it. They keep complaining over and over and over and over and again. You read about David and he keeps having these faults over and over and over again. And you're like, people, how foolish you are. Even Eve, you're like, how foolish. God just gave you beautifulness and you're just failing and eating the apple. What is wrong with you? Very easy to say that, right? But I think of myself. How easy do I falter and like just, oh, I didn't pray today. Oh, I didn't take that time today because I'm getting busy with my day. Oh, something great happened. So, you know what? God, you're good. We got this. Let's keep going instead of taking that quiet time to come in here and do that. And so consistency is helpful. Building habits. And you shouldn't have a habit with God, but you should have a habit with God. Just like you get up and brush your teeth every day. Do you brush your teeth every day? Hopefully you do. Come into your closet and have your time with the Lord. Sometimes you might come in. Usually the first time, you might just sit for a minute. Okay, because you can say a whole lot in a minute. And then maybe the next time it's another minute. Maybe next time it's another minute. Maybe a week from now, he'll be in there for 5 minutes. Then maybe you'll be able to extend it a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know what your time frame is or where you're at in life. I know life gets busy, but it takes a few seconds to come in here. If you can think about, you're already thinking about something, right? Like you're thinking about things, you're letting your mind spin out of control of things, you're worrying about things, getting frustrated, thinking God's left you through things. Stop thinking of that. Come in here, take a break. Sometimes I just need to take a break. I'll be out in the kitchen doing things. There's nobody around me. But I'm like, I just need to stop. And I come in my closet here and I just stop. And I'm like, I pour my heart out to the Lord. Whatever's going on, praise Him. Ask Him for things, whatever it is I need in my day to get through that day. Or pray for certain people or do this or whatever. But having that consistency is helpful, very helpful. And so prayer closet, give yourself a prayer closet. Go into your closet. Find a spot that you can go to that's away from everybody and you can do it and have a quiet time with the Lord. You'd be surprised. Something about the closeness of a closet I think is very special. And I know, like I said, I've got a big giant bedroom. No one would be in my bedroom and I could shut the door and do it out there, but it just feels so exposed, so open with the windows and everything else in here. And it's a weird way to explain, but in the closet you feel like all comforted, like it's just you and God and your clothes and your snacks or whatever alone, just right here with the Lord. So we're going to focus this month on starting a prayer routine. So I'm going to encourage you to go to your prayer closet. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Mine is not. I could. Like some people are really, we're going to talk about that in the next week about doing scripture walls and all that stuff. So some people have it all fancy and really great, and that's awesome. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I had a little sticky note sitting on the floor here of things I was reminded to pray for the longest time, but nothing fancy. It's just my clothes, myself and my clothes in here. And so, but this is my prayer area. So get yourself a prayer area, prayer closet specifically. Find that in your home and go in there. Take a minute, 1 minute today. Do it every single day. It'll change the way your day goes. I promise. That's what we're focusing. We're focusing this month on building faith habits. So we're going to focus on different things that we can do to help strengthen our habits and our faith. All right, so we've done many things today. We're on a whole new area. We're starting a whole new month. We're over the hump now, even though it's only, what are we on, 25 weeks? We're on 25 weeks, but we're close to about the halfway mark in there, but the month starts the new month. So awesome. So remember, if you would like to get the book for this to support my channel, feel free. If not, just watch all the videos. That's fine. They're all here on YouTube for free. But if you want the link, the book is linked below, and you can go through and kind of catch up on the things we've already done. Maybe go through and pick out specific things that you want to do, highlight in the book, things that you want to keep doing in your days, just to encourage. We're doing the healthy routines, we're doing the emotional wellness, and we're doing our decluttering of our home. So it's going good. We're getting through. You're going to be so much further ahead than the people that chose not to do this. That's a good thing, because you won't be complaining about your house next year because your house has already gone through. You won't be complaining because you haven't done anything for yourself this year because you've already established some new habits in your days. That's the difference. That's your key. Changing things and moving forward. So, all right, you have a fantastic rest of your day. So actually today, you're going to get a bonus video in a few hours on here. So I did a little extra this week, shopping and preparing food. So this afternoon, you're going to have a shopping video. Yes, surprise, surprise. All right, if you want to see that, watch that this afternoon. All right, I'll see you. Bye.